If you have tinnitus and you're struggling with tinnitus, you've probably asked yourself the question, will I ever actually get used to this ringing? Will I ever get better? Will I ever live a normal life again? In this video, I'm going to answer that question. My name is Grayson, and I have tinnitus myself. So I'm not just a doctor or somebody talking about tinnitus from a neutral standpoint. I've actually lived this experience and still do, though most days now I don't struggle with it anymore. If that's somewhere you want to get to, I have a guide. Click the link below. It's a 5-step guide to thrive with tinnitus. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Let's jump right into it. So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and answer, will I ever get used to this ringing? And the truth is, yes, that's how we overcome tinnitus. That's how we actually get better from tinnitus, is we get used to the ringing. And the actual term for that is habituation. And habituation is basically when our brain gets used to the ringing and just observes it as any normal background stimulus instead of a threat. So basically, we're all going to get there at some point, in my view. And I know there are some extreme cases out there, and mine's not the worst. It's also not mild. I struggled every day for a very long time before I kind of got used to the tinnitus and before I got to the point of habituation. It's not an easy journey by any means. I do think there are some things you can do to get there faster. I've actually made videos about that if you want to go check out the channel and watch those. That's not necessarily the topic of this video. This video is more just answering, can we get there? And the answer is yes, you can. No matter what level of tinnitus you have, you don't have to struggle as bad as you do today. My personal story is I was struggling every single day. Literally didn't know how I was gonna go on with this condition. Like I mean, it was bad. And then very, very gradually, I kind of crawled out of that hole. And again, it was a journey. There were ups and downs. There were good days. There were bad days. And then eventually, over a very, very long time, I got to the point, especially now today, like most days I go through the entire day and I don't even think about tinnitus. Occasionally, like if I wake up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom or something, sorry if that's TMI, but I'll notice it just because the house is absolutely silent, and I'll notice it, but it doesn't really bother me. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's tinnitus, and then I go back to bed. It is what it is. And so there are moments like that where I do notice it, but for the most part, it is not something that's impacting my day-to-day life. So if you're at a place today where you're struggling by the day, by the hour, by the minute, just to get through those moments with tinnitus, have a little faith, have a little hope. It doesn't have to be that bad forever. You are going to get to a point where you can get back to a regular life, even with having tinnitus. And again, I know there are, cases that aren't so bad and cases that are really awful. And I'm just going to say, no matter the severity, you don't have to struggle as bad as you are today. You can get to a place where our brain kind of begins to ignore that background stimulus and see tinnitus as any other noise. And instead of this threatening, alarming thing that our brain is focusing on and causing all this distress around, you can get to the point where you're living your normal life. So hang in there. Seriously, hang in there. I know it can be very, very difficult. Again, I have lived it myself. I'm not just some doctor speaking about it or, an expert speaking about it. I wouldn't even claim to be an expert. I would just claim to be somebody who's lived it, who's experienced it firsthand, and who's went to the place from struggling every single day to get by. I had my first kid shortly after getting tinnitus, and I remember like wearing earplugs around the house because of the crying and stuff, because I was worried the tinnitus was going to get worse. Like, it was not an easy thing. yeah, just hang in there. Check out my other videos. I've made videos about how to get to the point of habituation faster, because I believe you can. I've made tons of videos. Hopefully you'll find some of them helpful, and you can progress on this journey quicker than me and some of the other people who have went through this in the past. If you're finding this and you're just getting tinnitus, check out the videos. They can't hurt, right? Like, you've got this journey to go on, and hopefully they can help you along it quicker, and you can overcome your tinnitus quicker and be a success story and be a positive story in this realm. Thanks. Hang in there.